Hey guys, welcome back to Harles Garage. In today's video, I'll be changing my oil. Be giving y'all guys an update since I've had my injectors replaced. It's been 5,000 miles. And I'll also be using the Holt Industries fluid extractor from Harbor Freight. So stay tuned. All right guys, it's a nice hot summer day here. It's 100 degrees here inside the shop. I wanted to give you, first I'll give you a update on the truck. Now for those that follow the channel, I've had the Ranger now for well over a year now, and one of the only issues that I had back in December was a fuel dilution problem. And to make a long story short, or short story long as I like to say, Ford ended up replacing my injectors. They determined that they were bad, they were leaking down overnight, and that was about 5,000 miles ago. Did that in early March is when they finally, by the time the injectors came in, they replaced them. So at that point they changed the oil, put 5,000 miles on the truck, and I wanted to give y'all guys just kind of a quick update how it's gone so far. So with the 5,000 miles on the truck, I've been checking my oil level on the dipstick recently. That was one of the issues that I also noticed, that it had risen to really incredibly high levels, like past the top dot. Now when I got the truck back from the dealership, I had checked the oil level like almost as soon as I could, and it was basically right at the top dot. Now I've checked it over the last couple months and over the last 5,000 miles, and here's the latest one that I did just before filming this video. And as you can see, it's right there at the top dot, but that's where it's been since they gave me the truck back. But I was able to, keep track of it, and luckily it hasn't risen past that top dot since I've gotten it. I mean, it stayed right at that top dot. So with that also being said, my Mishimoto catch can isn't filling up as much. It's not collecting as much. It's collecting blow-by material, but it's not collecting what seemed like a lot of raw fuel. I'm not getting a lot of raw fuel smell, or really any fuel smell at all, coming from the truck. And my gas mileage has improved dramatically. I'm getting, even though with the level kit and 33s, I'm getting around 21 miles of the gallon on my daily trips now. Because one of the other things that happened is that my fuel mileage just tanked. Now that also could have been because I had my roof rack, or rather bed rack and tent on the truck as well. But really, it dropped down to 11-12 miles per gallon with that setup on there. And it kind of, right when this started happening, it dropped dramatically, and that was one of the first things that kind of caught my attention first. But now, since replacing the injectors, my fuel mileage has increased. I'm not getting as much blow-by material, in the catch can. Not heavy fuel smell. And when I have been checking the dipstick and checking the oil level, the oil itself doesn't smell like raw fuel. It smells like used motor oil, like it's supposed to. So far, after 5,000 miles, after swapping the injectors out, that it seems to have fixed my fuel dilution issue. And again, this is a turbo direct injection engine, so there is going to be some, just by its nature, going to be some dilution issues, with the fuel and the oil, just because that's how they work. But it shouldn't be to the point where it's 4% in just a few thousand miles. So I'm hopefully, and I'll send a sample off to get tested again to see what it is. But I'm all signs are pointing that so far everything's fixed. So after I get the oil extracted here, I'm going to send off a sample to a couple different labs to see, what my dilution level is, just kind of as a further test. But I'd like to say, fingers crossed, that so far everything has been fixed on my Ranger. All right, so for this Holt manual fluid extractor, the instructions say to let the truck or your vehicle run for about 5 minutes. What we're going to do is stick this tube down the dipstick, and this will allow you to basically pump the oil out rather than having to go under the truck and take the drain plug out. These manual extractors let you remove the oil from the engine up top through the dipstick channel. These you can pick up at Harbor Freight, this specific one, for about $139. A lot of times I have coupons and stuff. I think I paid a little bit less for it. I bought it a few months ago to use on my BMW, since we're kind of building it to a race car and probably changing out the oil quite a bit, especially once we rebuild the motor and all that. So, but I hadn't got really a chance to use it yet, so I thought I'd use it today. So I'm going to go ahead and get this fed in here and started. After I get this tube put through the dipstick channel, we'll make sure that this plug right here is set to evacuate, and then we'll just pump the oil out. All right, I've got the tube in here, and it's bottomed out at the bottom of the oil pan. Already got my switch set to evacuate. And we'll go ahead and pump out this oil. All right, I'm done with the extractor. It got out about 5.8-ish liters here, which happens to be about 6.2 quarts, which is the oil capacity of the 2020 Ford Ranger. So this little Holt Industries by Harbor Freight fluid extractor worked really good. You do the last little bit have to pump that last little bit of fluid that you get at the bottom of the oil pan. I found that I had to pump in succession a couple times to get the rest of it to come out, but overall a nice little neat little device. I think it'll work great here with my BMW build once I continue getting that put together, you know, if I want to change the oil out real quick after a bunch of races and stuff like that. So overall, highly recommend this. I think it retails for about 140 bucks, and like I said, you can pick it up at Harbor Freight. But anyway, guys, that's the video on my 2020 Ford Ranger fuel and oil update / oil change that I did here today. I've got my samples that I'm going to send off, so I'll give y'all guys another update once I get those back, and it'll probably take anywhere from a couple weeks to almost a month before that update comes. But so far, fingers crossed, everything's been running great on it, so hopefully it stays like that. So hopefully y'all enjoyed the video. Leave a comment down below if you've got your 2020 Ranger and you're having any issues with it with your fuel and oil. Just let me know. I know a lot of y'all had commented on my other videos, and so you know, if you're still having issues, just let me know. And if you have any questions about it or what I did to get the dealership to change my injectors out, you can also leave a comment down below, and I'll try to run you through that as well. But anyways, that's all I got for now. And be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.